That's a positive. That goes into the positive column. What I don't like is how long it's taking to start to push up. So I'm still have a slight positive bias for a near-term bounce here.
Hello, and welcome back to the Daily Crypto. Today we have Gareth Soloway as he shares with us an update on his Bitcoin price predictions. Right now, the Bitcoin market is brutal. Bitcoin has been in the negative for 8 weeks, a cryptocurrency record, while Ether has been at its lowest level since 2020. While the drop is distressing for crypto investors, Gareth Soloway says it is not wholly uncommon as cryptocurrencies are notorious for their volatility. In addition, volatile economic conditions are pulling down not just crypto, but also the stock market. The cryptocurrency market is in disarray, compounded by the demise of Luna and the UST stablecoin, which are linked to the Terra blockchain. Over $17 billion in cryptocurrency worth has been lost, and the crash has prompted concerns about stablecoins in general. In addition, politicians and regulators have taken notice of the tragedy. Having said all that, let us head right through the video. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content we produce on this channel.
So Ethereum, it has had a bounce, and a decent bounce at that. I was a little surprised it didn't tag this lower support line right here. It got really, really close before its bounce, but this is a big, big level on Ethereum, right around $815. If it breaks that, then you have your next level down here at around 500, and then possibly even lower. So 815 or so, or 800, huge level. You do have a bottom in right now. But again, are we going to hold it? That's going to be the big question. And again, I'm not sure, but Ethereum is getting very attractive as a long, and listen, holding cryptos as a long-term investor is very, very tricky because you just don't know about the volatility. But these are finally getting in my wheelhouse. I was warning when we were at 65 or 69,000 on Bitcoin. We're finally getting to levels where I wouldn't buy a big chunk, but I think nibbling, 800, sub 800 on Ethereum, and then buying at 5 and buying at 3, you're going to put yourself in a position where if I'm right and these cryptos do survive, and I'm talking about best of breed here, best of breed is so important, Bitcoin, Ethereum, then you're going to make a lot of money in the future.
Most of the main cryptocurrencies traded low on Tuesday as the global cryptocurrency market worth fell below $900 billion, down approximately 5% on the day. Most of the main cryptocurrencies' prices have fallen in the previous 24 hours. Over the last 24 hours, the worldwide crypto market volume was $60.36 billion, a 6% increase from the previous day. However, Bitcoin's dominance stayed consistent throughout the period at roughly 42.5%. In the past 24 hours, the price of Bitcoin fell by almost 5%. As of now, the price range is $20,000 to $21,000. BTC's price has dropped by 0.75% in the previous 7 days. Gareth Soloway is still optimistic that Bitcoin can have a bounce off of 25,000 thereabout. However, Gareth Soloway also stated that if the Bitcoin price falls below 19,500, the next likely downside price target for Bitcoin would be 12,000. Still, there is a risk of the additional correction below 10,000 based on past tendencies.
So basically we have the chart, which you're right. We pierced the 20,000 19.5 high from 2017. We got a nice reversal candle. So again, what you can see here is when you got below, you had this beautiful reversal candle. That was short-term bullish. Now, what we've done since then is almost nothing, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 days where we've basically been going sideways. And for me, I look at that and I say, okay, we're still holding this 19.5, 20,000 level from 2017. That's a positive. That goes into the positive column. What I don't like is how long it's taking to start to push up. So I'm still have a slight positive bias for a near-term bounce here. But to be honest, it's getting long in the tooth. And what the common saying, at least in stock markets, and it really applies to any asset, is that you don't get a long time to buy lows, just like you don't get a ton of time to buy the high or to short the highs. And so it's getting a little to the point where, like, everyone that wanted to get in here is probably in. Now, why hasn't it started to bounce up? So I'm still optimistic that we could bounce back to about 25,000. I have this trend line here, which is that low from the Terra Luna collapse. But I'll tell you, if we start really going below this 19.5 again, you got to think that $12,000, $13,000 target is back in play down here, which to me, that is a major level.
Gareth Soloway thinks the dot-com boom is akin to today's Bitcoin market after looking back for 20 years. The crypto market has been compared to the dot-com period, with the chief market strategist anticipating it to go through the same washout that dot-com enterprises experienced. When the bubble burst in late 2001, Amazon traded down to $5.51. Before the 2008 financial crisis, Amazon shares peaked at $101 but only fell as low as $34.68 during the crisis sell-off. It took Amazon around 10 years to restore all of the value it lost after the dot-com bubble burst, but the stock was back to fresh all-time highs by late 2009. There was no turning back from that point on. Amazon reached $200 in 2010, $500 in 2015, $1,000 in 2017, and $3,000 in 2018. Amazon investors who invested at the pinnacle of the dot-com bubble had to wait a decade to recoup their initial money. However, those that hung on to the end have fared well. According to him, the market is following a similar path as the dot-com period firms and is about to face a washout, much as those companies did in the late 1990s.
It may not get down there still, right? I mean, none of us know the lows, and the crazy thing about it is it may not go there, but it also could go a lot further below that, and we don't know that either. So we just have to, I think, in bear markets, and especially remember that this is a bear market that's unparalleled in past bear markets in crypto, because we've never had inflation where it was in Bitcoin's history, and we've never had a Federal Reserve that's aggressively raising rates and sucking money out of the system. So this is kind of uncharted territory. The only thing I can liken it to is the dot-com bubble bursting back in 99, 2000. And if that's the case, and remember the Amazon chart from that time period from 2000 almost is perfectly mirrored in the Bitcoin chart as well. You know, that makes me wonder if maybe there's even more downside. Hopefully not, because I'm looking to accumulate a bigger core position, but I got to be ready for anything. We all have to be ready for everything. I would just say do not commit 100% of your assets. Do it in small positions so you dollar cost average in.
Giving his prediction based on past cycles, Gareth Soloway says that the Bitcoin price would hit a major downside to 12,000 at the end of the summer, precisely October, November this year, 2022.
Yeah, that might be a little early. I'm kind of in the camp where past cycles in Bitcoin, it usually takes about a year. So that would put us October, November. So it's just past the summer. But I do think that this downside will be complete in about that year period. So that's what I'm kind of eyeing myself is that, all right, well, we're already at 20,000-ish or so. You still have another, we still have July, August, September, October. Yep. So basically 5-6 months in October, November. All we need to do is basically get down to 12 or wherever the low is. And then I think you have that time frame of past cycles bottoming out. That's where this one likely will as well. And I say likely because you just don't know. But also keep in mind that we have a scenario where after it bottoms out, past cycles have chopped sideways and up and down for long periods, like another 6 months before you really start that next incline. So just be aware of the past cycles and how that likely will give us an insight into this cycle.
One feature that has drawn investors to cryptocurrencies, notably Bitcoin, is the belief that they are more resistant to inflation than fiat currencies, such as the US dollar. Bitcoin's value has historically climbed far faster than the value of the US dollar, rising from nearly worthless in 2010 to over $20,000 in late 2020. Because Bitcoin is a volatile market, it has witnessed tremendous ups and downs as a result. Bitcoin has become an increasingly popular hedge against fiat currency inflation.
The economy here in the US is slowing, and it is slowing very, very quickly. And that's going to put us in a position where the Fed may have to stop and wait a few months and see if does the economy perk up or does it slide into a recession or a deep recession. If it slides, so my projections are this, is I think by year end or early 2023, we are in a recession. And if the inflation numbers come down from, let's say 8-9%, let's say back to 4 or 5%, and unemployment because of the recession spikes, let's say to 7 or 8 or 9%, the Fed will in 2023 start printing and stimulating again, or at least lowering interest rates. So I think again, you'll see another reversal of the Fed. And this is the Fed where they won't do it until inflation comes down enough and unemployment goes up enough. But remember, their dual mandate is to keep both in check. So if unemployment surges dramatically, they're going to have to react and deal with that.
The Bitcoin versus Ethereum debate is becoming more popular these days. Bitcoin has grown in popularity and recognition throughout the world. It also has the greatest market cap of any cryptocurrency accessible. In some ways, it is the current global champion of cryptocurrencies. On the other hand, there is Ethereum. Ethereum did not have the revolutionary impact that Bitcoin did, but its designer learned from Bitcoin and created additional functions based on Bitcoin principles. As a result, it is currently the second most valued cryptocurrency on the market.
So at this stage, Bitcoin is the key. I do think at some point we inch into, you want to have a little Ethereum, but I do think Bitcoin is the play where you're going to be safest.
Are you a believer that Ethereum may take over Bitcoin? If yes, how does Ethereum compare to Bitcoin in terms of functionality and applications? Comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the Daily Crypto. We'll see you in the next video.